All right, I'm going to try to do this. I guess I am doing this. I'm not trying to do this. Um, we're gonna watch this video together, and I'm gonna explain to you what's going on. So my buddy Mike sent me this video. Who am I explaining this to? Just whoever's watching this video. I'm gonna be talking like I've been talking to someone else. But that's just for me to get this out. This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. I've watched this once. I work overnight. I'm dead ass tired. I just worked. What time did we get off? 5:30. So whatever 7 p.m. to 5:30 is. I'm not doing that math right now. 10 and a half hours. And it's already been. Right now I'm on. It's late. I gotta get to bed. But we're gonna go through this video. This is gonna be my response, and because my buddy Mike wanted my opinion on it, and I think this is exactly what I've been talking about. This encapsulates everything I've been talking about, and I think it proves me right. And what am I getting proved right about? That calories were disproven to be an energy measurement once molecular theory came around. And that might sound weird to start with, but let's watch this video, okay? And we're going to go through it point by point with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've only watched it once, so I know I agree with it a lot in the beginning. It's a really cool. And then we go, boom, all the way down. It's going to be fun. We're going to do this. So here we go.
Chuck, another explainer
Okay.
is bubbling up within me.
Ah.
Okay.
Right. Now, you sure that that's an explainer?
Or I gotta go to the bathroom. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I was going to say, what you have for lunch? Because
So I was just thinking how much we take for granted about when we use the word energy. And it has profound origins. I mean, our understanding of energy has profound origins. The brilliance of Isaac Newton, who, discovered the laws of optics and gravity and motion and invented calculus. Energy was not a fully developed concept in his time.
Yeah.
And so I just want to sort of spend a few minutes offering an appreciation.
That's a crazy thing to consider, to just think about that, Isaac Newton didn't have a fully concept grasp of energy, because something about that doesn't make sense, and we're kind of going to touch onto it a little bit later on. I think he's going to say it soon, and then I'm going to have just my kind of arguments about this little part, but it's just kind of like a philosophical debate. This early one, it's just something small, just to kind of get out of the way. It just kind of itched me, but it's not what we're here to talk about.
Or a triumph of the human intellect to figure out what the hell energy is,
Right.
and then how to manufacture it and exploit it.
Right.
I just want to spend a few minutes. This is like a public service announcement for energy
Nice.
out there.
yeah, one way to exploit it is call someone Sleepy Joe. Low energy,
Yeah.
very low energy.
Political.
So, energy is not a thing, right? You can say a rock is a thing, and you
Okay.
can point.
So he just said energy is not a thing, but he just talked about we're going to harness this thing, and we're going to use this thing. What did he say?
And then how to manufacture it and exploit it.
Manufacture and exploit it. That sounds just the language choice could have been better about energy, I think. Just a note, manufacture and exploit it sounds very like the worst version of capitalism.
Call someone Sleepy Joe. Low energy, very low energy.
Energy is not a thing, right?
Energy
You can
is
say
not a thing.
Energy is not a thing. So, energy is not a thing.
Okay, how can you see? This is like it's just a small thing, and we're not here to talk about it. But maybe it's not a small thing, because it's not a thing. But because if this thing isn't a thing, then what is a thing? Like, because if you can manufacture and harness it, it has to be a thing. It has to be a thing, Like 99% of the proton is just this not thing. No, it's this thing. It's a thing. Just because it's not as tactile as other things, it's still tangible as a thing. We can still feel it, especially if we like put, a magnet on our hands and go to try to touch a magnet. It'll go, woo, like I don't know. I haven't done it, so I'm just guessing. Like I put magnets together, and rubbed them, but it's a thing. Just because you can't see it, like that's okay. We're gonna continue, but it's a thing for my sanity.
Right? You can say a rock is a thing, and you can point to it, or planet is a thing, and energy is not a thing.
That doesn't make sense.
So it was delayed in our ability to understand what it was and how to think about it. So
Okay, so if it's not a thing, what is it? It's a force. So our force is not things. Like I think you're being too specific with the definition for what a thing is. Honestly.
So we knew some things.
Doctor.
For example, when you had a cannon, back when cannons were like a popular tool in warfare,
Right.
there were physicists at the time who said, I have a cannonball and have this gunpowder, and the cannon is made of iron. Then I fire it, and if I keep doing this, the cannon gets hotter and hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where's that heat coming from?
Right.
So what is it? And so in the urge to turn energy into a thing, early ideas was that there was energy was a fluid, was a thing that could.
Okay, so maybe he means like before Isaac Newton, energy wasn't really a thing, but just like it was like maybe understood as just like existing, and now they're trying to quantify it and like measure it. So now they're trying to describe it as this kind of fluid. And this next part is actually very important for the entire argument and the entire reason we're here today. So this thing that we're talking about.
Move in, and it was a fluid.
Here.
Early ideas was that there was energy was a fluid, was a thing that could move in and out of objects. Okay, one of them they called it phlogiston. Another one was a caloric.
Boom, this one right here. Okay, this is the most important. Okay, so he just said, okay, we're gonna go a little bit further. We're gonna come right back, but I gotta make it clear. Like, oop, hang on, get back in there. Okay, hang on. Again, grabbed the wrong window. Okay. Look, this is the important part. Really pay attention, please. I know I'm not crazy. But watch. It's just like come on. It's just like, what are we doing? Okay, here we go.
Fluid was a thing that could move in and out of objects. Okay, one of them they called it phlogiston. Another one was.
Okay. Before we get too crazy, I have a thing. And this thing is, ta-da, a whiteboard. Okay, so we are going to write down these things. At 2:45. Okay, and we are going to say energy. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, we tried. Keep it as a text. Energy is thought to be a fluid early on. He doesn't talk about this, but it loss. Hang on, I already forgot the H, and it's right there. What was this one again? I forget this part. Phlogiston. 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 Okay. Phlogiston. Oh, that's cool. Nope. Yep. Phlogiston. And okay.
Stun. Another one was a caloric.
Okay. Pause. Hard pause. Phlogiston and caloric theory. I'm glad that's even bigger because that's more important. Phlogiston is basic. So we're going to draw it. We're going to just kind of highlight it. Yeah. Phlogiston was early. And then caloric theory is the big one. Fluids. And that's kind of a good visual too, because they were thought to be fluids that like transferred between material. So the idea is that so you have water, H2O, but we didn't know it was H2O. So how did we figure out that this was H2O? Antoine Lavoisier, 1870. Oh God, you could write so many things, but then I mean you can go 1866 really, but 1870 I think 8. I'm gonna put. That was a weird way because I thought I was gonna go 7, but Lavoisier. Yeah, and so water, right? It can get cold and it's ice, and then it can become gas, and it becomes this huge space. And this is 600 times this in volume. And so how does this happen? Well, what they think was happening was you had this fire. That's supposed to be fire. That's terrible fire though, and I am sorry for all the artists out there. Boop 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 boop. Visual fire. Fire Nation attacked. Boom boom boom. Fire. It just looks like a hand, but so fire is adding something to water. What is it adding? Lavoisier is saying it is adding in these calories. It is adding in this heat, and that is adding into this space, and that is why different water, and then water and water and water, and that's what's helping take up this space. That's what's adding. The fire is adding in calories. It's thought to be a fluid that can transfer just through matter. Just all like just transfers through. Okay. Awesome. And we'll come back to this maybe later on, but let's get off of this, boom, and get back to this. Okay, so it's important to go from here.
These were words invented to try to think about.
Oh, by the way, just a quick heads up for something coming up. Antoine Lavoisier is French. That's just gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Energy as a thing, and then it moves, and it's got to be somewhere, and so a hot cannon had more of this in it than a cold cannon, and so
right.
So that was you had to
sense.
start somewhere. We were crawling before we even could walk, and it wasn't until we understood molecules and atoms and that we were able to say, okay, and what role friction plays in this. We were able to say, so you can store energy.
Okay, pause. Hard pause. We're going to play this back again.
That we were able till we even could walk.
It wasn't until...
And it wasn't until we understood molecules and atoms and that we were able to say,
Right.
Okay.
Let's say atoms and molecules. Text. 3, 21. It wasn't. Okay, that's annoying. Until we understood atoms and molecules that we wasn't. Okay. I hate all these negatives, so let's change this. When we started to understand atoms and molecules, we started to understand the sources of energy. That's what he's saying. That's paraphrasing, but I think that is correct. I know that is what he's basically saying. I mean, come on. If you just analyze it as any kind of English, let's turn on these captions. Wow. Okay, where am I at? Oh, you didn't see any of that. Okay, here we go. That's why I gotta keep that up. I got a lot of different things going. Different windows, sorry. Just different notes, but from different things. Sources of energy. Okay, yes. This is my central argument. The energy we get from food is from what's going to be called the quantum electro comes from quantum electrodynamics, electrodynamics. What does that mean? It is from the dance of the electrons cross protons through different molecules as a result of molecular well, really any kind of bonding. So let's separate this because I'm not quoting all of them on this. So this is paraphrased. Boom. This is my argument. And this is my argument. Boom. Essentially. I also have another argument. All heat is electromagnetic force. And temperature. Bailout. Or at least enter. Or at least the electromagnetic force is necessary for all heat and temperature actions. Sure. And electromagnetic force. What is the electromagnetic force? Electromagnetic force. It's a fundamental force of nature. Physics. Yep, wait, yep. Okay. It is wavelengths. It is waves. It is usually described like this. Let's see if I can pop. Oh, that's a terrible line. Okay. Pop. So then I need to go. Is it bends here relativistically or opposite way? Okay. Looks farther. I just used that word as like a fancy shit. I didn't really, because obviously by those last 3 lines, I don't know what I'm trying to do. No, I was trying to draw it to that line, yeah. And then it draws to that line, and then it draws to that line, and it draws to that line. And then the blue wave, cut that, and then, it's supposed to be in the same area. Boom, boom, boom. It's not the best, but, you know, it's kind of how it looks. Electromagnetic force. It is light. Light photons, which are light and are photons. These are the same thing, and electron communication. It's a fancy word. Electron. This part, though, is actually connected. Photons and light and electron communication, electromagnetic force, all drivers. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of getting long-winded. Let's get back to what he's saying about energy. But what I'm saying is energy is fundamentally electromagnetic force. Oh, let's make that a little bit better. This is what energy is, at least in the importance for nutrition and exercise science parts. Yeah, so let's get rid of this and we'll get back to this.
And what role friction plays in this? We're able to say, so you can store energy in different ways. And when you store it,
it's been a second,
it's not manifesting itself.
Let's start again.
Energy as a thing, and then it moves, and it's got to be somewhere, and so a hot cannon had more of this in it than a cold cannon, and so there was you had to start somewhere. We were crawling before we even could walk, and it wasn't until we understood molecules and atoms and that we were able to say, okay, and what role friction plays in this? We're able to say, so you can store energy in different ways. And when you store it, it's not manifesting itself. It's not saying, here I am, look, it's not really doing that.
Right.
And when you're storing it, no, the object is not in motion. No, the object is not, is not all these things.
Okay, it depends on what level you get to object is in motion, because the molecules never stop vibrating. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't change your position in space, your molecules are moving all the time. Your electrons are moving all the time. There's the only time your atoms stop moving is at 0 heat and 0 temperature, 0 Kelvin, the scientific breaking point. So it's like, I mean, that's what modern science even agrees with me right here. Look, I'm not trying to just be a braggart. I just want credit. Yeah, I just want credit. But it's the first to, I guess, formally, because this is a legendary science talk like educator, and this was 1 year ago. And so when people say that like calories are going to be like metaphorical, they are technically, and they're a bad metaphor. And I want to do science, not fantasy, so I don't want to do metaphors. What's the science? Materials, macros. Let's get back to this food composition, essentially. And we've known of this for over 100 years. So let's get back to this, and I can't wait
that
to
it
go to
is
bed.
when it's manifesting.
Okay.
So let's take this manifesting itself. It's not saying, here I am, look, it's not really doing that.
Right. That's also stored in chemical bonds. So let's get back to the whiteboard. And there's tractors and gardeners outside. Okay, that's fine. Whiteboard. I'm tired, man. It's fun time. Let's see. Energy is stored. How? Covalent bonds and other bonds, but it is just bonds. All question mark all the way down? Question mark. I guess I don't need the first one really, but just to know it was always a question. And something to know about phosphate. I don't remember all the. Okay. Hang on. Phosphate periodic. Because we're going to do this right. We're doing this right. Group 15. It's the nitrogen group. Oh, so it's one under nitrogen. Cool. Okay. Too much. Just images. Just a picture. Thank you. Carbon 15. Okay, so, oh gosh, it's been a while since I've done organic chemistry. I know this can make boom, 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 boom. 5 bonds. And it's usually to oxygen. At least that's how we care about it. These are O's. Actually, I could do something cooler with this whiteboard. Let's go here. And these are O's. Boom. O's. Wait, magic. Come on. Circle. Okay. Go away. Okay. That's a lot of notifications. Eraser. Okay. Here we go. Anyways, undo. Control C, Control V. Come on. Duplicate. What button is that? Control D. That's nice. Oh. And so this is how the energy from ATP is stored. T means 3. That's a really ugly 3. 3 of these guys. And it's usually O, poop, P, and it's like, I don't know how these all connect. Does it go O to P? God dang it. Look, I know all this at one point. I just don't study up all the time on these particulars. This is fine. No, they do connect through the oxygens. Okay. I gotta learn how to draw all these. Boom, look at this. And see this? See this beautiful cell right here? See this beautiful cell? Look at this baby. This is your mitochondria. This is the guy. This is the dude right here. You get me? This is the dude. Like, he's a different cell than your cell. And he's been along for this entire ride. He's the man. It's crazy. What does that mean? Like, he has his own DNA. And this guy, I mean, part of us. I don't know. It's all nuts. But anyways, let's talk.
And when you're storing it, no, the object is not in motion. No, the object is not, it's not all these things that it is when it's manifesting. So let's take the simplest case, a roller coaster. Okay?
Right.
Every roller coaster, the first ascent is the highest.
Yeah.
Okay? So what's going on? So there you go, and you're leaning back, and this thing cranks you up. It is endowing you with energy, potential energy, stored energy, potential gravitational energy. When you get to the top, you can calculate how, because we have formulas for this, calculate how much gravitational energy it handed you. So I don't feel this energy. I don't know what you're talking about. Until I push you over that ledge.
Right.
Over the other side of that hill. Then what happens is your potential energy starts converting to mechanical energy, to kinetic energy. And it's an exact trade-off. An exact trade-off. So all that energy they gave you at the top,
Right.
okay, now is returned with you speeding up as you descend.
And that is when the ham sandwich becomes actual vomit.
Okay. That's a transformation of another kind, right?
A chemical process when that ham sandwich becomes vomit.
And it's this trade-off, and it goes back and forth as you go up hills and down. If you go up a shorter hill than the first one, okay, you have enough energy to reach the top of that hill because you started out with way more energy than that at an even higher hill. You're going to lose some energy to friction, okay?
Right.
So, in other words, you can't ascend back to a hill exactly the same height that you started in, okay? Some energy will go to friction. And when you lose energy to friction, that makes heat.
Inside Out 2 is a record-breaking global phenomenon.
Is it?
Sounds right.
Oh, that does look
Back
pretty
to the
good.
game. Call your
I
friends
do want to see
my
this.
new
I don't
buddy
know. I didn't see the
Bouchie.
first
Hi,
one.
everybody.
It
and
looks
see
pretty
the
cool.
biggest movie of the year.
Yeah, welcome to the top of the hour
Disney
after.
Pixar's Inside Out 2, rated PG. Now play.
It's just, I
Isn't
don't
it
know.
absolutely
Reese's. Oh, I
bonkers that
couldn't.
you can walk
I
into
could
a
have skipped it.
store,
I could have
hand
skipped it.
someone a piece of plastic, and they will
I could really
willingly
only eat
hand
one
over
Reese's. You
Reese's
guys
cups.
might not like
Get
this
flying cars.
hot
This is
hot
it.
take,
We're
but
at
I
the
only like
pinnacle.
one
And meet
Reese's,
Reese's
so
distant
I guess
but
it's
delicious
good because then I could
cousins.
share.
Okay? That's
Yeah.
the source
Anyways,
of heat
here we go.
when you lose energy. All right. So that's why the engine of your car gets hot.
Right.
Right.
Okay?
Huh?
Not all the energy that you started with got transferred to the motion of the car.
Okay. That's true. I guess that friction plays some role in heating, but usually we avoid that with oil and stuff. The friction of the car comes, or the heat from the engine, I think, comes from the combustion and the release of the release of electromagnetic radiation. Literally, as these new chemicals form, there's just a giant release of electromagnetic radiation. So, did I pull this up again? Hang on, let's pull this window up again. Boom, boom, boom. So, electromagnetic radiation. What is that? We're gonna go here. Electromagnetic radiation images. See that little thing? That's what I was trying to draw, by the way. The electrical field, magnetic field. You could kind of see it, right? Right? It's so bad. That's so bad. I'm just gonna. It's like, sometimes you just have such bad models that they give a false example, and that's one of them. This is fairly accurate because I guess that orientation doesn't matter too much, and I'm just gonna get rid of that because it's confusing. But that is correct, and that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. So let's go up to here. Boom, 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 and electromagnetic radiation. Gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet lights, visible light, infrared rays, radars, FM, TV, shortwave, AM, energy, as terms of wavelength, as terms of photons of energy. In let's try this. In explode. I'm gonna do explosion first. Okay. Boom. Positive charge, negative charge, ionizing zone. That sounds a lot like electromagnetism. I guess, well, I am looking at it definitively. AIEMP. Well, I mean, all light is electromagnetic radiation. All other parts, yeah. So, that light energy that hits you, that heat, I don't know all the radiation that comes from an explosion. Like this gets to the point where I really hope physics already has these answers, because, gosh, man, we've been so tucked into thermodynamics that interesting. Research on, hang on, okay, deny. Of energetic materials, that's interesting. Explosion of energetic materials, yes, that's just what that means. An explosion of energetic materials is just an explosion. Electromagnetic interference is generated, which can affect normal operating sound electronic equipment. Therefore, an electromagnetic device based on short range omnidirectional antenna means all directional. Short wave is like radio. Back 3. Keep going. Boom. Short wave. Go. No. Short wave. Radio wave. Short wave. Strong wave. I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe not. What's a short wave? I don't know. And an ultra wideband omnidirectional antenna. That's the kind of stuff I don't know. But different masses. Anyways, it did say that it is generated anyways, and we see the light from it, and we feel the heat. Heat is infrared radiation heat. Infrared is the thermal expansion of heat. So, yes, infrared is considered heat radiation. It's the electromagnetic type of radiation that we perceive as heat. So if you need any more proof, anyways, electromagnetic radiation is typically infrared light. Well, I should say visible light and infrared, because it's the color red. It divides right there. Infrared radiation, smaller than red. Right. Below, further on. So, further than light. God damn it, I did the same thing. Boom. Can I make it bigger? I don't know how to do everything, but visible light, red on the left, violet on the right. So below, I don't know. Visible light and infrared smaller than. Well, here, let me just put below red radiation. Boom, 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 boom. Oh wait, what is heat? Heat is so heat and temperature are electromagnetic forces. And this is important. This is important, especially for the field of nutrition. Here's another, I don't know, postulate, call it. All of thermodynamics is electrodynamics, but not all of electrodynamics is directly thermodynamics. Just make it easier to understand. Boom. Anyways, so let's go here, highlighter. This is, from science, so, and this again is my postulate. Oh, and hey, by the way, this is also my postulate. It's crazy that those two line up. I'm getting used to, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sorry if I'm enjoying this moment a little too much, but this has just been 10 years of me arguing. Like, I need you guys to understand, I've been arguing with everybody about this, like everybody, and here's one of the most smartest guys in the world, in all respect to Dr. Tyson. I don't mean any disrespect. I've been arguing with Hank Green about this too. Okay. Just, it's really important to know that calories don't exist. They're not real. And so we should not measure in calories because they're not scientific. They're a metaphor. They're fantasy, and they're the wrong fantasy. We need to be measuring in macros. And that whole wrong fantasy thing is, a reference to, my book that's not out yet that I'm writing about kind of all this, because in the first chapter it talks about how all science is basically just someone's meta theory, someone's like fan fiction, because science is just fan fiction, and whoever's closest to the real there's only one non-fiction, you know what I mean? The real non-fiction is like the universe, and we just start writing fan fiction, and we call it physics, we call it biology, and we call it chemistry, to try to explain everything. And the better the fan fiction predicts the story as the story continues, the more accurate we call it true science. That's the definition of science, kind of, in a way. Anyways, what I was talking about. Please stop. Just take calories off of all food labels. It's not going to happen right away. So just start tracking your macros. Point one, I can get into it later. But 0.7, I'll get into it later. We'll definitely get into it later. Anyways, we're going to still continue on with this because we are only 6 minutes in. We're just like over a third of the way in, and I am already 43 minutes in. This is a very long video. But this is my entire argument, and I really would like to work with other researchers. Hang on, let me highlight this again. Hey, are you a researcher in physics and quantum mechanics, nutrition, or are you interested in trying to figure out the real science of how things work? Work with me. Help me figure this out. How do we get energy from ATP? Because the hydrolysis is too far away. What about the ATPase? We know it from experiments that we need the ATPase in the body in order to create this kind of things. Like Dr. Tyson, I'm sorry, you're just not you're not a physiologist. I'm not really one either. I want to be. Let me come to college. I've been sick for a long time. I don't want to get into it. Anyways, work with me, please. And because we can just help a lot of people, like this entire obesity epidemic, we can probably figure out if we just like start doing the right things and like actually work with the right sciences. So just like just give me a group, just give me a team, come on guys, work with me. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
The losses went to friction. The friction heated your engine gets hot. Okay.
So yeah, again, the engine doesn't get hot because of friction, but it is part of it. I mean, but most of your car like uses oil and stuff to prevent that much friction from overheating the car.
In a roller
it still
coaster, you're
happens.
converting gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy and back and forth and back and forth and
Right.
back and forth. And if they designed it right, the frictional energy that you lose, okay, you don't go up higher and higher. The hills you go over have to get lower and lower, and there's the last one, then you come in for the stop.
Right.
So they gave you the energy when you started at the top of that hill. So that's
Next part's gonna
gravitational
be crazy.
potential energy becoming kinetic energy. That's what's going on there. And like I said, if you go back up a shorter hill, you'll slow down. Because some of that kinetic energy is giving back to you, so you can have another little lump of potential energy to take the next hill that comes after that. All right, so that's easy. We've had roller coasters forever. You could have imagined them forever ago. But it's more complicated, or a little more physics involved, if you want to say, this molecule has energy.
Okay. I 100% agree to this statement. I guess mostly to this point. I think pretty much all to this point. I agree. But okay, so a little bit more involved if you want to say that molecule has energy. Yeah, this is about to get exciting because this is the part where we go downhill. Speaking of roller coasters, I'm sorry. It's just it's so funny. You have no idea. I've had so many arguments. Okay, here we go.
A molecule. Well, how am I going to get the energy out of the molecule? Just sitting there. Oh, well, you can, in one case, burn it.
Break bonds. All this, remember, this is all electromagnetic radiation. And these are bonds that are breaking. These are carbon bonds that are converting into CO2 and water. And that is important to know because that process is also what comes out of your mouth. But how the chemistry gets there is two different ways. This is by combustion. Your body uses them mitochondria boys. Where, hang on, we getting the other window up. We getting these, because this guy, I don't know if you know, I talked about it a little bit, but this is the boy. Oh yeah, son. Yeah, the boy. Hang on, I don't even know if this is getting highlighted like I want to do, but yeah, the boy. Oh man, this guy, he's the bee's knees. I mean, oh yeah, the endoplasmic reticulum also pretty stellar. Nucleus, what can we do without you, literally. But I mean, this boy right here, hey, we just gonna give him a highlight right now. Like this is his sport for a second. We gonna talk, like, we're not gonna talk about it, but this guy, check him out. Little boom, 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 boom. Look at that. It has its own little DNA matrix. It has its own little DNA. It's crazy. When it's in all of our cells, it's nutty. Oh man, look at these highlights. Bam, 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 bam. Oh my gosh, put some clothes on, right? I don't know. These aren't that slutty. Oh God, I don't know. Man, I'm tired. I'm just trying to be funny. But yeah, all eukaryote cells, the powerhouse of the cell. These things do work. These are the machines. But anyways, let's hear again what Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about.
Burn the molecule, okay? Why is it that you can throw a log in the fire and the log is room temperature, you put in the fire, then the fire ignites the log and the log keeps burning?
That's because chemistry happens at different temperatures. Like atom bonding and molecular reactions happens at different temperatures. And you have to know this being an astrophysicist.
There's chemical potential energy in the molecules of the log.
Right. Okay.
Where did that energy come from? Where did the log get that energy, Chuck?
Sorry for a second. Sorry. I just remember I only watched this once, and I forget everything he talks about or doesn't talk about. But at least that's hilarious. At least he talked about that.
You tell me right now.
Where does it? Okay, the log gets it from the electromagnetic radiation of the sun. Yeah.
Log, it's from its molecules. It was storing.
Where did its molecules get their energy?
Right.
Oh, okay, let me think about this.
Sorry.
Oh, from their atoms.
And Chuck, okay, Neil's about to go hard into Chuck right here, but Chuck, 100% right, my guy. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to point in your face. Yeah, it's from their atoms. Of course it is. That's what heat and temperature is. It's the vibration of atoms. That's how we define it now in our quantum age and our molecular age. If you don't believe me, then it's like, how does your microwave work? How does your microwave heat things up? You got one in your kitchen. How does it heat things up? It's not by fire. It's not by fire. Anyways, here we go.
What did the log used to be?
No, it used to be a tree.
Used to be a tree.
A tree. How does the tree get energy?
From the sun.
Thank you. So, the sun builds molecules that contain stored energy. So that's why wood burns.
I think that's I think that's 100% correct. The sun builds molecules that store energy. I think, yeah, that's like central to everything I'm saying too. It's just by electromagnetic radiation, or in the case of the internal energy of the sun, which he's going to talk about later on, it's like nuclear forces. I think, I don't know. This is when it gets into crazy, like quantum, but it's still quantum mechanics.
Because it has stored chemical energy
Right.
given to it by the sun.
Yeah,
Look at that.
electromagnetic
and it's just
radiation.
sitting there minding its own business.
Right, because it's just, remember, it's just the light and the soil and the air, and it's using the light, the electromagnetic photons, to create enough energy, I guess, to create the right kind of chemical bond environments, so that way it can create the necessary molecules to store that energy as ATP or GTP, that can be later on used, because all of our movement is essentially just electromagnetic forces anyways. That's like how calcium moves tropomyosin anyways. It's electromagnetic. It always has been. And just I don't want to argue about it anymore. So just please just think about food composition. It's the most important thing, and it's what we need to focus in anatomy or nutrition. Sorry. I'm tired. Anyways, I'd love to come speak about this. Hang on, let me highlight this. There is the American Nutritional Society convention next year, 2025. Love to come talk. Even just like walk around. I'll probably get a ticket. I'll be there. But if I could, I submitted a thing to speak already about all this. So if I could, I'll take a stage and I'll talk about it. And if anyone wants to ask questions, I'll answer them. So to the best of my ability, or try to point you in the right direction. Anyways, let's go back to this.
But that's why fires in homes are so deadly.
Huh?
It's time to help people
Okay.
customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Crazy
Natural
ad break
melatonin
timing.
promotes sleep in as little as 15
Don't.
minutes. That's faster than you can replay the.
Nope, no
Because there's
melatonin.
all this
Don't do it.
attention.
I'm not getting into
From
it.
the
Don't do
sun.
it.
Thank you. So, the sun builds molecules
Don't
that
be regular
contain
with it.
stored energy. So that's why wood burns, because it has stored chemical energy given to it by the sun.
Look at that.
And it's just sitting there,
Sure.
minding its own business. But that's why fire
Okay. Oh yeah, I thought about this in the car, because when I first heard this, it's like, oh wait, why is fire? Hang on.
in homes are so deadly. Because all this potential energy stored in the molecules of organic
Okay.
matter, wood, if your house is made of wood.
Okay, hang on.
So that the whole thing burns, converting the chemical energy into thermal energy.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Hang on. That's still just electromagnetic radiation. So I'm still on point. But remember when you're talking about the sun and the sun doing stuff, it's not, I guess it's kind of like a fluid. I don't know. Photons are kind of like a fluid, you know? They're like a little wavy. I've always kind of thought of them as fluidy. You know, like explains stuff. But I mean, I think about the universe different. Anyways, that's a whole different thing. Let's get on to like hard tangibles, because remember, hey, just real quick, nutrition is not thermodynamics, it's electrodynamics. Calories don't exist. Don't follow calories. Look at food composition. 0.727 grams of protein per day for how much you weigh. 0.545 grams of fat or oils, because we want more oils than we want fats. So they're both lipids. Lipids is what you want. This is getting technical, but look, fats are solid at room temperature, oils are liquid, and you want more liquid lipids in your diet than you want solid room temperature lipids. I don't know. Butter doesn't agree with me. I don't know the nutrition on butter. I don't know how good or not it is. I need to look more into food composition. There's a lot I got to work on. There's a lot I got to do. But this part, pretty much done with. So I'm going to get started on other stuff. But, you know, like I said, I can use the team if you want to help. So let's go back to this. It's not a fluid. Remember, it's electromagnetic radiation.
That contains stored energy. So that's why wood burns, because it has stored chemical energy given to it by the sun.
Look at that.
And it's just sitting there, minding its own business. But that's why fires in homes are so deadly. Because all this potential energy stored in the molecules of organic matter, wood, if your house is made of wood, so that the whole thing burns, converting the chemical energy into thermal energy.
Wow.
So much of our lives is the conversion of energy of one form into another. And what happens while that's going on? So other forms of energy. There's energy in the nucleus of an atom.
Right.
Yes.
So
You split the nucleus and take it out. We make bombs.
remember, now we're going, remember, before we start talking about calories, because he's going to talk about it later on too, he's going to get into it. We're talking about nuclear bombs that we've made. Like, we understand like the energy of the atom and where it comes from. And all energies comes from atoms.
Okay? So we turn nuclear energy into the kinetic energy of an explosion to do damage to things in warfare. Okay?
Gosh.
That's
Because in this, it goes back to that thing I was saying. Sure, why not? I'll move that. Johnny Phantom. Danny Phantom, I know. All of thermodynamics is electrodynamics, but not all of electrodynamics is thermodynamics. Electrodynamics, this is more specifically quantum electrodynamics. Electo. I keep saying electo. I just cannot hit that R. Okay. And this is going to be blue highlighter because that's just... No, wait. That is yellow highlighter because that is real. Electrodynamics in this situation is quantum electrodynamics. This statement is my claim, but I'm talking about quantum electrodynamics. Okay. Anyways, remember, Antoine Lavoisier, calories French, energy, how is it stored? It's stored in phosphate bonds, covalent bonds, the electromagnetic force. It is the light of photons, which is how electrons communicate. We get energy from food is quantum electrodynamics. It's the dance of electrons across protons through different molecules as a result of molecular bonds. Just to kind of draw this real quick, just to give a little bit better. I'm taking my time with this because I just kind of want to be more thorough. With this because I'm asleep a lot and I'm tired. And I just want to make sure that I get this done. So here's a little proton, and here's a little proton, and here's a little proton, and these guys are bonded. Here's your sigma bond. Wow, that is terrible. Let's go with violet. So here is your sigma bond, and that is your sigma bond. And then we're going to go with yellow. And we're going to go with our pi bonds, and our pi bonds. Pi bonds, our pi bonds, and so pi bond, and go back to violet and sigma bonds. Okay, boom, and protons, boom, and these are protons, boom. Okay, so this is just an example of a molecule. This has a pi bond and a sigma bond. This would be considered a double bound molecule. So this is the same as saying do, or any other molecule. It could be anything. Pop. But that's a double bond. So a single bond, just to show you. Boom, boom. We just have this sigma bond. Boom. And then, so where are the electrons in this? The electrons are dancing. They are running through here. Sound effects enough. Anyways, yep, they dance in this, and they dance across here. Ta 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 ta. How many are dancing? 2? Nah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, 2 of each of these. So this is 2. It's like 1 and 1, and here we go. So that's 1 electron. That's 1 electron, and there'll be like an electron here, and let's see, we got an electron here. And then, so this is double bound to this, and so this is, I think, does this still have, no, that's 6, so that those all pair, 2, 3, 6, I don't know, I forget everything, so, but anyways, I know these sigma bonds, pi bonds, and electrons, I know they're dancing in here, I know that, pop, 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 pop. But yeah, if you want to know more about this, study organic chemistry. It is a beautiful subject. So yeah, and this action, so when these bonds break, like say it goes to this, let's see, make this more simple, let's go keep this one here, we'll make that a little bigger, proton, and on top proton, and then that broke, and we got just this proton over here with its own funky electromagnetic field. Probably like this. Now this electron's dancing like this. You know what I mean? So that changed its dance because of the bindings and unbindings. And what else can happen when these don't bind is a release of a lot of light. Electromagnetic radiation. Boom. Explosion. Right? Come on. That's what we're talking about here. So, energy is stored in these covalent bonds. Energy is the dance of electrons across protons through different molecules as a result of molecular bonding. Anyways, here we go.
Nuclear or chemical energy. Some chemicals will give you their energy not slowly, like a slowly burning log. They'll give it to you catastrophically. All right? And we call those bombs.
Okay, because the argument about energies and it's just, hang on, I gotta wrap my head around this. Some chemicals, burning log is a very fast chemical reaction compared to the length of some chemical reactions, which could take, I think, like millions and billions of years, thousands and hundreds of years, decades, seconds, minutes. And I mean, like, because that carbon and hydrogen is happening that fast, it's creating light. So, and there's no, like, it's not like interruptions. It's not like light, slow process, no, it's all the time, constant chemical reactions. And so there's slower chemical reactions. Like, you could, like, if you want to think about like digestion and stuff, like, yeah, like the metabolism is a slower chemical reaction than fire. Like how we harness energy, how we rebuild ATP, and how we use the same, like, okay, so remember when I talked, like, we breathe out carbon dioxide and water, and so does fire. Like, that's a crazy thing. That's a fact. Crazy thing. Ours come from the mitochondria, that big boy. You know that, man. You know what's going to happen. You already know. Let's get that boy. That boy. Man. You get it. Like, hang on. I need to step aside real quick. Give me that window. Boom. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. Yeah. But anyways, mitochondria. It is. Oh, look at that. The connection to the heart. That's perfect. It uses oxygen, and it creates ATP, and it poops out carbon dioxide, and we breathe that out. And water at the same time. Yeah, it actually, and I think it poops out water. Gosh, there's like the Krebs cycle, and hang on, that one. Not that one. Okay, hang on. Maybe this one just as good. Base structure, energy production, blah blah. No pictures. Okay. I need pictures. Boom. Get your pictures. Fancy pictures. Okay, come on. Where's the good pictures? Come on. Here we go. Infectious tissue injury. That's sad. Boom. Here we go. Yeah. I think that's the Krebs cycle. The TCA cycle. Same thing. I think. Anyways, glutamate, mitochondria, anti-inflammatory. What? It creates anti-inflammatory stuff. Mitochondria metabolite signaling, antibacterial activity, and immunity. Even more proof that the mitochondria is the goddamn boy. He's the boy. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so mitochondria, I don't know what this paper's saying. This paper might say, hey, like mitochondria helps them. Gosh. Look at that. That's cool. That's cool. Look at that. It's all chemistry. It's all signaling. It's all biochemistry. Look, where does this energy come from for all of these motions, for all of these actions, for the channels, for the bindings? It's electromagnetic. It's quantum. It's electrodynamic. Boom. That's a cool one. That's interesting. Anyways. Boom. Here, I'll just show you real quick. Mitochondria, ATP. Boom. Inner membrane, outer membrane. Boom. ADP, phosphate becomes ATP. Bam. O2 becomes water. See, that's where the oxygen comes in, becomes water. Where's the carbon dioxide output? Because I know it's in here. Man, I know, because I've done this math before. Hang on. ADP, yeah. Okay, come on, give me a good one. That's why I need to do more stuff. Boom, boom, boom. NAD, NAC, H2O. That's the water it creates. It creates its own binding agent that it creates to release itself. You know, that's funny. Anyways, I don't know. But it goes and sends out all these hydrogen ions. That is actually really important. Okay, that we're gonna touch on that later on. Where are we? Oh my gosh, I am so far off screen. I'm sorry. No one could even keep up with where I'm at right now. Shoot, dang it. Hang on. That ad. This image. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Scroll. Okay, window. Thank you. Work with me. Okay, sorry. It's okay. Look at that little motor. This is the electrodynamic. That's like a little myosin unit. Anyways. Cool. Here we go. So as you can see, the water coming out the bottom. Boom. Let me move. Let me move me. Chemiosis. Creation of chemical. Electron transport chain. Cool. Pop. I gotta remember all of this. Acidity. I mean, I guess you can too. You want to talk about lactic acid? What about this kind of acid? You know, isn't this just pure acid? Anyways, those get recovered and used in other processes, I think. But they'll remind me of this later on. Get out of here. Giving away my email addresses. Gross. Boom. I mean, I never check them anyways. Just please don't kill. I don't know. Anyways, let's get rid of this. Let's finish this. Sorry, Mike. Jesus.
Okay. Or a firecracker.
This 16-minute video has been an hour already.
The energy goes
Hour
to
15
break apart
almost.
the firecracker, goes into the sound,
Light, heat, and sound.
that it makes, the shock wave, all of that.
Sure.
So our lives and everything we do is nothing but a ballet of the conversion of energy from one form into another.
Okay. And now we're going to get into craziness.
Do you know what the French word is for energy?
I do not.
Calorie.
Okay. Just French word for energy. Energy? That's crazy. How? What? Hang on. Can you? Is this okay? It's on screen. What? Energy le deuxième signe. You know what? You know what else I could do? Hang on. Where is it? Advanced Calorie War history. Lavoisier. Sure. Let's go here. Comment de fluide, élastique, réseau, inflammable. Copy. Translate. What am I translating here? This is the text from Lavoisier. Pure avec le fuel pure. I don't know if I'm even saying these words right. I don't speak French. But I like to pretend 1766. Anyways. Donny Phantom. Here we go. And caloric theory. Anyways, crazy that's not the French word for energy. Mr. Tyson. It's the word made by a French natural philosopher, physicist. The original chemist, the OG, discovered what fire was made of. Where am I? I'm so lost. Anyways, here we go. This is going to be the
Okay.
downhill.
Leave it to the French. Calorie.
Okay.
With the God.
So
Yeah, hang on.
So-
Wait, because we're going to go here. We're going to go here. Crawford, Magellan. Hang on, it's way after this. What's that? Different cool bodies, permanent. What does this word mean? Chimeras. Oh, like blending. Okay. Principle, oxygen. This is when he first is like talking about some real shit. Boom, 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 boom. Hang on. God, come here, translator. Copy. Paste. I deduce all the explanations from a simple principle, which is that pure air, vital air, is comprised of a principle specific to it, which informs the base in which I named oxygen principle combined with the matter, fire, and heat. Once this principle was admitted, the main difficulties of chemistry seemed to vanish and dissipate, and all the phenomena were explained with astonishing simplicity. So this is saying that the discovery of the material object oxygen from trying to figure out what was the elements of fire, which they thought at the time were the fundamental elements, created this oxygen principle. There's this combustible unit. There's this reactive unit. This is a chemical, highly reactive chemical. That's why a lot of things like, oh man, I'm losing my mind. Anyways, this is when he discovered oxygen, and this is how he discovered oxygen, by theory first. Anyways, and then by experiment. So let's get to calories. 17 molecules necessary to put on Charlotte. He doesn't talk yet about calories yet, does he? I don't think so. He's talking about acids. Crawford and heat, combustible, fire release, combustion, chaleur. Is chaleur calories? Where's chaleur? Go on here. Anyways, I mean, such an combustible air because that's with heat proportion, combined heat, chaleur becomes free. So the heat in the air that, anyways, that's weird that they would, oh, because it doesn't cut it off right there. Boom, boom, boom. Copy. Dang it. Control Shift T. And paste. Which combined with infinitely more abundant than the combustible body whatsoever, except flammable air, as a result with the air supplies much more to the heat released during combustion. Okay, oh, this one. 89. Alright, this is when he first came out with calories. Chapter 1, highlighting caloric concept of elastic fluids, being one of the three states of matter. Right. He said that this calories were a state of matter. That's what he means, and that's just like make sure you get away from that when you're talking about the sun, adding energy to stuff, that you're not talking about these fluids, adding, even though it's kind of like a fluid, it's electromagnetic radiation, it's electromagnetics forces. Radiation kind of sounds scary, but it's electromagnetic forces. It's waves. Some electromagnetic waves, man. They're just waves. You just gotta surf the waves. And it's the vibes. It's the vibes, bro. It's the vibes of your molecular structures. Literally. That's temperature. Don't tell me it's not. Calories. Calorique. It's not even called calories in French. Wait, okay, hang on. Because this is what I wanted to find. From the original man, from the original words of the guy who invented the word calories. He called it calorique. And I just want to get back to this claim real quick.
To another. Do you know what the French word is for energy?
I do not.
It's not
Calorie.
That's weird because it's not even the French word for calorie. That's crazy. It's not even, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little animated, but I get animated. It's not even the French word for calorie. What are we doing in nutritional sciences? You know what I mean? Like, I spent thousands of dollars, and people are going, like, this is August. People are going to go study and get nutritional degrees and become registered dietitians learning calorie theory. That doesn't exist. And it's the wrong theory, and people will continue to get sick. And this is a big deal, actually. This is actually a very big deal. So, let's just go back to this.
Leave it to the French. Calorie.
Okay.
But of course.
So when we consume food that has calories, a 1-for-1 definition of calorie is energy.
But what does not have calories, of course, are cigarettes.
Is it? I mean, then we got to get into arguments about joules, and I'm working on it. Okay, I haven't gotten to joules yet, but I'll get there.
Which is why we smoke them, because they are not fattening and they make you look so cool.
Thanks for that 1950s reference to cinema, French cinema.
I know.
So, but think about it. So you eat food that has, you look at the calorie content. That's how much energy it has. Okay? So then.
So why do food labels have calories? Why do food labels have calories? Why do foods have calories? Why do foods? Oh, get away! Sorry, I clicked the wrong
If you
button.
have a love of languages, you may
No.
want to consider a career in the Navy.
Okay.
As a cryptologic tech.
I don't pass the medical.
My 6-pack is just beneath the potential.
It's just beneath
That's
all this
Right.
potential.
Right. Yeah.
You need energy to live.
Okay, let's get
So
back to
when we
this.
consume food that has calories, a 1-for-1 definition of calorie is energy.
But what does not have calories, of course, are cigarettes, which is why we smoke them, because they are not fattening and they make you look so cool.
Thanks for that 1950s reference to cinema, French cinema.
I know.
So, but think about it. So you eat food that has, you look at the calorie content. That's how much energy it has. Okay? So then you consume it. You need energy to live, to move. Your heart beats. All this requires energy. You're getting it from the calories of the food you eat. So what happens if you consume more calories than you need? Your body says, store that. So it creates chemical potential energy in the form of fat, and it stores it away.
I'm not fat. I'm just filled with potential.
Hang on. I
do
I
not.
kind of missed all this. Let's pull up window B, and let's just do this real quick. Just do this and paste. I don't know why it did that. Supposed to be one. Okay, let's make that a little easier to read. What year did quantum dynamics start? 1925. Okay. Let's just do this. Paste. 25. Or 20. It's not. But anyways. There we go. Oh, God. That's great. Well, here we are. Yeah, you know, I don't really... I'm getting used to this stuff. But, yeah. So, anyways. Why? Hang on. Just real quick. Get rid of this. Let's see if I can find the right... Oh, shit. I fucked that up. Oh, hey. Cool. I was looking for that. Good to find.
Chuck, another explainer is bubbling up within me.
Ah.
Okay?
Right. Now, you sure that that's an explainer?
Or I gotta go to the bathroom? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was going to say, what you have for lunch? Because,
Oh, hang on. I guess we're doing this. Lavoisier, metabolism, scurvy in the Navy, diabetic trinity. Okay. That's not.
With so many choices on Booking.com, there are so many Tina Feys I could be. So I hired body doubles. Indoorsy Tina loves a deluxe suite. Ooh. Booking.com, Booking.yeah.
Rated teen.
The underworld shows no mercy. But it's a big galaxy out there, and I'm gonna risk it all.
Star Wars Outlaws, available August 30th.
Okay. I don't remember where it is. But anyways, let's get back to here.
The calorie content. That's how much energy it has. Okay? So
It came from... I gotta find it. Because it comes from 18... The point is, it comes from 18... Look, alright, I've gotten most things right at this point. I hope you could trust me. Atwater, like 1897, I want to say. Something around this. So let's just say 1890s, because I know it's 1890s. I'm 100% sure it's even more than that. It's going to be the late 1890s. Atwater, let's go here. Boom, Atwater, late 1990s. What happens here? Oh man, you won't believe what happens here. It is USDA dietary. Wait, no, sorry. U.S. government. What? Creates dietary guidelines from Atwater's research. From Vaughn research. Yeah. I guess I could have drawn a better arrow here. Bam. Boom, 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 boom. Electrons moving. Anyways, God, you didn't see any of that? Awesome. Anyways, that's what I just wrote down when I was typing and looking so excited. Atwater, late 1900s, U.S. government creates dietary guidelines from Atwater's research. This includes that's fine. This is a really great website. Shout out to webwhiteboard.com. Webwhiteboard.com. They're pretty baller. Okay, anyways.
then you consume it. You need energy to live, to move. Your heart beats. All this requires energy. You're getting it from the calories of the food you eat. So what happens if you consume more calories than you need? Your body says, store that. So it creates chemical.
Okay, so we're explain that one, Austin. Okay, so your body eats more calories and it gets fatter, right? I mean, technically. Okay, have you ever heard of the 4-9-4 rule? If you haven't, don't worry, I'm going to explain it later on. But let's first talk about what you're eating. You're eating grams. That is a terrible G. Grams of carbohydrates. You're eating grams of proteins. And you're eating grams of, we're going to say, oils. And I'm going to do a little L here for lipids. This is what you're eating. You are eating, let's make this one important. You're eating grams of food. Okay, right? And so, if you consume more grams in your body, hang on, in body, grams go up, right? Okay, right? Grams go up in body, okay? Because of this is food, right? Right? Eating specifically. Cool. That's great. That's great. Do you think that it might? You think? Hang on. Let me write this down. Do you think it might store these grams in body later use? Like grams, kilograms, of extra material, like body fat, or if training muscle, bone, and better body systems, nerves, circulation, immune, hormone, or am I even on this? I'm not even on this. I gotta get better at this. Oh man. God, I just went over all of this. I'm so bad at this. This is why I hate videos. I hate this stuff. Okay, man. Okay. Anyways, so here I wrote down the 494 rule. As you can see, 494 grams of carbs, grams of proteins, grams of oils. I guess I should have wrote this as the 44 rule or change these around. Let's just change this around. This is going to be oils. I don't care. Let's make that a little bit easier. And this is just going to be an oil. And this one is now, it's protein. And I don't need this. And whatever. Grams of oil slash, well, because this is the 9, this is the 4, and this is the 4. You might still be asking, Austin, what's happening here? Again, right? Grams of food. You still heard everything I said. It still makes sense. In the body, grams, food, eating, storing it later, it's going to be grams of food. So why? Then why do we think we are eating more calories? Because you're doing extra math. That's how you get calories, is you do extra math. So to get calories, you have to do extra math. Okay, we're here. Let's do this. What is it? 4 kilocalories, kcal, which is kilocalories per gram of carbs. 9 kilocalories per gram of, I'm not going to say fat, but oil for real. And 4 kilocalories per gram of carbs. I did carbs. Of protein, except sometimes protein. I always spell protein wrong. I always spell protein wrong. Except sometimes protein doesn't be used, isn't used, nope, by ATP, and sometimes carbs are, or oils aren't, and even other sometimes carbs aren't used for ATP. And remember, at this point, the world thinks ATP is equal to calories. And what are we doing, people? And this has to be a capital P. Remember, just remember. Hang on, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Red, boom, boom, boom. That's trash. You have to do extra math? Do you want to do extra math? No. No extra math. Okay? Grams. Grams of food. Food composition. Gosh, I mean, that's just... Okay, speaking of which, we can go here. Vitamins. Like this part. This all part. Discovering vitamins. Vitamins don't have anything to do with ATP. They have to do with other bodily functions. So nutrition is bigger than ATP and just energy, and it's a lot bigger, and we need to focus on that, and we need to stop talking about calories forever. Hey, just real quick again, real quick. God, an hour 30 in, we're not going to talk about calories anymore. Okay, food composition. We're just talking about like grams of protein, grams of fat, grams of carbs. Okay. Oh, I didn't talk about grams of carbs. 2 times the amount of protein you eat for carbs, for like kind of average and weight loss and stuff. If you're in sports performance, you need to do 3 to 4 times, depending on your sport. But it's always a multiple of the protein, because carbs are essentially just an ergonomic aid. You don't even need them. They're not an essential nutrient, technically, so literally and scientifically, but they are an ergonomic aid, and so that is important. And I'm sure they have other uses, like eating vegetables. I'm not going to say don't eat vegetables. Anyways, yeah, here we go. I eat vegetables every day, just by the way. I really do. Like, you can ask the people. Anyways.
Potential energy in the form of fat, and it stores it away.
I'm not fat. I'm just filled with potential. What you talking about? You see this? This is potential. I am potentially Michael B. Jordan. I am potentially Michael B. Jordan. That's what the potential.
My 6-pack is just beneath the potential.
It's just beneath all this potential. You don't even know what you can have.
And by the way, that conversion of your body's calories to your energy is not perfectly efficient. So what happens to...
Okay, so for this part, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. If you have the wrong measurements, nothing's going to be really efficient, right? Your body wants to be at a specific heat, but just like with the roller coaster and stuff, it's friction. Or I don't care, it's electromagnetic radiation that comes from all the movement. I don't know where it comes from. Your body does like to be in higher heat. It's higher energy. It's still electromagnetic radiation. So it is heat. It's just not calories. It's not calories. It's not calories. Calories are not a nutritional science measurement. That's the key point. That's the key point. So if you want to be a nutritional scientist, you can't use calories. If you want to be a nutritional theorist, I guess. But if you want to be a nutritional scientist and work with science and physics and how we understand the world today, calories don't exist. And they're not the important measurement of nutrition. and they are a distraction, and they need to be removed. Back to the video.
To that excess energy that's not converted. That's the inefficiency of your body. We're an engine of sorts. It's inefficient. So that inefficiency gets converted to heat. So your body heats up when you exercise. It's a consequence of the inefficiency of your body. But your body loves that because now it's part of your temperature regulating system.
I guess it's like technically, physically an inefficiency. I think this comes down to a matter of philosophy and definitions. Of what are we talking about?
The body heats up when you exercise.
Body heat and exercise.
It's a consequence of the inefficiency of your body. But your body loves that because now
your cells operate better at around 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Regulating system. But I'm just
32 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And so to say that heat is an inefficiency of action disregards the fact that to create that action requires heat. To create the proper chemical, to create the ideal body, to create, and that's where it gets more specific, where it's like you're saying that the heat of the body is inefficient, and then I'm arguing about like calories and heat's not the main driver. That is true. Heat is not the main driver. I still think it's just the frictional forces of the muscles, like everything's sliding against each other. So there's just a bunch of little, like if you rub your hands together really quickly, that's a layer of skin rubbing up against each other, sliding, that gets warm. If I start doing this, do you think that muscle is not sliding underneath the skin just because it's fluid with all the lotions and stuff and all the fluids, literally, lotions. That's a weird way to say it, but it's more fluid. It's the fluids, and just the way that the cells are designed. But it's still like, am I getting this on video? I hope I am. Yeah, okay. I'm rubbing my hands together and I'm creating heat. You move your body and things slide across each other, it's going to create frictional heat. And I think that just happens naturally. And I think at least our cells are designed to operate at that kind of temperature more, to move our bodies more. Oh man. And then we get into talks about like how the brain developed throughout human history and anthropology. It's crazy. Concurrently with the cerebellum and the cerebral cortex. Anyways.
Saying, when you exercise, your body heats up. In the same way you drive a car, the car heats up. In the same way...
the car heats up. No.
The wheels and the tracks of a roller coaster are actually getting hot.
Yes. So those are two different processes, I'm going to say.
When you exercise, your body heats up. In the same way you drive a car, the car heats up.
No, not like how you drive a car and the car heats up. I think the car heats up from explosions. And I guess from the friction too, really, like the high friction. Of course it heats up from the high friction. It has to heat up from the high friction. But your body heats up from the high friction too. I guess, okay, so it heats up from the high friction, and they're both driven by chemical reactions. But one is combustion. One is a violent and immediate chemical reaction. And your muscles are not driven by violent, immediate chemical reactions. You have much more dexterity and control. Not everything is a bam, 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 bam. Everything is smooth and controlled and finite and like discrete. And it's you can't do that so much with combustion engines.
In the same way,
and just like friction
the
mechanics.
wheels and the tracks of a roller coaster are actually getting hot because of the inefficiencies of the conversion. Because there's inefficiencies in every conversion of energy from one form to another. So the only point of this explainer is just to say, so much of what we do and how we live involves the clever conversion of energy from one form to another. Nuclear energy, chemical energy, which is molecular. We have kinetic energy, gravitational energy. All of this comes together, and our ability to exploit that in the service of civilization is one of the great triumphs of physics, especially 19th century physics.
Okay, 19th century physics means the 1800s, which is like where calories and everything came out. But let's not forget the triumphs of the 20th century physics, where we designed this molecular theory and nuclear theory. That's the triumphs of the 20th century, Mr. Tyson, not the 19th. The 19th triumphs, I don't know, Maxwell, early electromagnetic radiation, until when Einstein came up with it. I don't know. No, it was Maxwell, right? Yeah, he connected it in the 1800s, which is great. I don't know. So maybe it was built on the shoulders of the 1900s, but still, the 20th century. We gotta get into the 20th century, man. We can't just stay in the 19th century. We're in the 21st century. We gotta at least catch up through the 20th century. The 20th century is perfect history. Like it's done, and so we can use all of the discoveries from the 20th century, 21st century. No, 20th. We're in the 21st. And really just apply them, like this quantum mechanics.
Where they figured out, oh my gosh, look what we can do. Another quick one, just look at a locomotive, right? Well, what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just another part. It's just this 19th century thing is like where they made the connection between engines and people, even like the most extreme, like with Taylorism and in business and ergonomics. That's like the human motor. I'm charging my phone. Hansen Reinbach. That talks about the social implications of treating the body as a motor, and how it influenced all parts of society. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Well,
Time to help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Probably our ad break. It's for real though. This has been a long time. This is crazy.
That's the move.
I thought this was going to
the
be like an hour.
locomotive,
and
all
I'm
right, I
already
don't know if you
on almost
remember,
2.
they'd have to fill up from water tanks every now and then. Okay, well, what does the water do? Well, a locomotive burns either coal or wood, and it heats so that's the chemical energy. It heats a vat of water.
Chemical energy. He said it himself. That's the chemical energy.
The stored chemical energy of the wood into the active thermal energy of the vibrating water molecules. They then evaporate, creating pressure for the steam to then move wheels to have the locomotive go forward.
Increases the pressure and increases the temperature.
Oh my gosh. And that all started with solar energy that made the wood or the coal, that made the fire, that made the boiling water, that made the pressure that moved the wheels. All of this is a triumph of our understanding of energy.
Now, what you just said there, I can hear Exxon going, listen, guys, we're actually solar energy. Okay? So,
and then after I go through them, they're like, hey guys, we're just an electric company.
I just see it coming
Ultimately,
Ultimately,
it started
guys,
as solar energy.
This is solar energy, okay?
Fossil fuels started as solar energy. This is true. This is true. It reminds me, and we got to end right now. It reminds me of this bumper sticker that says "No nukes," right? From the anti-nuke movement, and then the O in the "no" is an image of the sun. It says "No nukes."
No nukes. Okay, yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I know what they mean. They want you to do solar energy, but the sun makes its energy with nukes. All right, just like make that clear here. That's how that it started that way. So anyhow, I just thought I'd put all that out there, and to just to enhance our appreciation for what energy does for us, and how being clever has enabled us to build civilization on the exploitation of converting energy from one form into another.
Yeah, it has built civilization, and ultimately it will destroy civilization.
On that happy note, Chuck, thank you. This has been another Star Talk Explainer. This one on all forms of energy. and how it can create and destroy all that we work for. Thank you, Chuck, for that happy thought. Neil deGrasse Tyson here. Keep looking up.
Just to go over this stuff again. Hang on, maybe I can find something cool. Nope. Okay. Alright, cool. Let's just finish this. Why is this not? Here we go. Just hang on. We're almost done here. I just want to finish on a good note.
Yo, can I kick it?
That's tight. Okay. Just to, bam. Cool. That's super sweet. Oh, that's just so nice. I'm gonna listen to this when I sleep because I gotta get to sleep because I have to be up in 6 hours. Okay, I'm gonna get 5 hours of sleep. So, energy is thought to be a fluid early on. Philosophers in caloric theory, they thought that the fire and the sun, that's not good sun drawings because that's not yellow. But then the sun creates rays and that heats things up. And this is all a fluid that transfers from the fire into the water. And when that gets transferred into the ice, that ice expands into this vapor that is filled with the fluid of both water and calories. That's Lavoisier. He's French. He 1779. Let's go back to black. 1779. Okay, that's not great. All right. Nope. Boom. And one more time. Boom. 9. It's a 9. It's a 9. I said it enough times. It's 9. So when we started to understand atoms, molecules, we started to understand sources of energy. Is this in frame? Yeah, okay, I got everything. This is my central argument. The energy we get from food is quantum electrodynamics. What does this mean? It's from the dance of electrons or protons through different molecules as a result of molecular bondings. Light and photons are electron communication. This is the same. Boom, boom, boom. I don't need to do all that. These are equal. Stop, no, go back. Okay. Anyways, let's get off that. I wish they had just a hand tool. I don't know how to do it. Okay, get away. So, how is energy stored? Covalent bonds and other bonds, but it is just bonds. I think it's just bonds all the way down, and that's about even more quantum and quarks and strong force. But so like this is the phosphate, and this is the thing that's bonded with the most, or whatever, where the energy is stored. ATP. I think these are negative. These are all negative. This is a very electronegative molecule. So it's a whole lever mechanic thing. I just think it has more of an electromagnetic effect on it, on like the ATP has on the mice, than it does an energy effect. But I think that's how the energy is transferred. It's just like this electronegativity and more of a structural change of like pushing, as this thing stays together, but is still bound to other parts of the mice, and then it changes the structure. It causes shifts and changes in groups. That broke apart. And so, anyways, What happens when you eat more food? If you ingest more grams of food, you get you might be stored for later on, like body fat, or your training can be used as building your body because you are what you eat. So if you eat more food or like highly dense food, like carbohydrates are known to be stored as body fat. They've been pretty well known now. Eating too much excessive carbohydrates, and like it's like, well, I don't know, a six-pack right now is because I really like my I like my bakery snacks. I got a sweet tooth. It's just feels what it is. So this one we're not gonna use anymore. Not gonna use this for don't worry about that. We're just gonna count. Not gonna do this. Just this is what we're gonna count. Grams of carbs. Just don't make it any more complicated. Grams of oils, and grams of proteins. These are also just like fats, nutritional fats. NF, nutritional fats. ATP does not equal calories. Does not equal calories. Calories, and just calories are concepts of matter produced by fire that is yeah. Anyways, and was evolved to be a state So, long story short, Mike, this is what I think about that video. That's 2 hours on a 16-minute video. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep. But that is what I think. I hope this audio is good. I'm gonna try to cut this, I guess. Try to figure shit out. But remember, you heard it here first. Materials nutrition is what you want to do. Materials nutrition, food composition. No more calories. No more calories. Okay. Have a good night. Have a good morning. I gotta get some sleep.